Hello everyone. In a shocking revelation that reads more like a sordid soap opera than a royal narrative, Lady Colin Campbell has ripped the curtain back on Meghan Markle's dark secrets, claiming that this modern-day Cinderella traded in her glass slipper for a Hollywood spotlight. Just when you thought the Sussex saga couldn't get any more scandalous, Campbell steps in with a tale of ambition, manipulation, and betrayal that threatens to upend everything we thought we knew about Prince Harry's escape from the gilded cage of the British monarchy. Imagine this, a prince so infatuated with his leading lady that he willingly ditches centuries of tradition and royal duty for the whims of a woman whose aspirations seem to be more aligned with social media fame than with regal responsibility. According to Campbell, Harry's leap into the unknown, leaving behind a life of privilege, purpose, and actual duty, was heavily influenced by Meghan's relentless drive to carve her own path. But let's be real, is it bravery or utter folly for a prince to forsake his crown for a Hollywood dream that seems to be more about securing a Netflix deal than a family legacy? Campbell's allegations suggest that Meghan's struggles with her own family have set her on a collision course with the royal family, who needs a fairy godmother. When you have a dysfunctional family saga to draw from, with a father who seems more interested in cashing in on her fame and a half-sister eager to air their dirty laundry, it's no wonder Meghan feels the need to break free. But can she really escape the shadows of her past, or are they forever lurking, ready to pounce at the first sign of vulnerability? The real kicker, though, is Campbell's assertion that Meghan's so-called modern values directly clash with the royal family's time-honored traditions, while the Windsors clinging to their heritage with the tenacity of a bulldog. Meghan seeks to redefine what it means to be a royal in the 21st century. Sure, she talks a big game about independence and self-expression, but let's not pretend that her true motivation isn't a desire for fame, fortune, and the ultimate title, Hollywood royalty. After all, who wouldn't want to be the queen of Instagram? In a world where headlines seem to shift as quickly as Harry and Meghan's loyalties. Lady Colin Campbell's revelations are like a shot of adrenaline to the royal narrative. Are Harry and Meghan the tragic heroes of their own story, or merely two misguided souls floundering in the spotlight of public scrutiny? The critics are sharpening their knives, and the royal family is holding their breath as this scandal unfolds. As the curtains rise on this latest act of the royal drama, the world watches with a mix of fascination and disbelief. In a shocking turn, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have seemingly traded their royal duties for a lifestyle that some might argue is as authentic as a $3 bill. With every public appearance and Instagram post, they seem more like reality TV stars than former royals, but who could blame them? After all, the allure of Hollywood is irresistible, especially when the price tag includes a sprinkle of fame and a hefty dose of attention. Meghan has expertly crafted her persona as a strong, independent woman determined to reshape the narrative of royalty, but one can't help but wonder if this self-proclaimed narrative is merely a facade. Underneath the polished exterior lies a woman who, despite her royal aspirations, has become embroiled in a web of contradictions. Her quest for independence seems to be more about seeking validation and fame rather than actual freedom. While she insists she's breaking free from royal constraints, her very existence is entwined with the media circus that follows her every move. How liberating can life be when your every waking moment is documented and scrutinized? Let's not forget the role of the media in this spectacle. It's as if Harry and Meghan have stepped into a carefully orchestrated game of chess where every move is calculated for maximum impact, with their intimate details splashed across tabloids and their private lives dissected on social media. One has to ask, are they the players or merely pawns in a much larger game? The couple has mastered the art of public relations, turning every negative headline into an opportunity for a glossy magazine cover. They've become the embodiment of any publicity is good publicity, except for when it isn't. Meghan's calculated maneuvering from heartfelt interviews to curated social media posts paints a picture of a woman in control of her narrative. Yet when one peels back the layers, the truth is less glamorous. Their interviews have often bordered on the melodramatic, transforming simple anecdotes into grand tales of persecution. The moment they decided to share their side of the story on platforms like Oprah, the line between genuine vulnerability and staged performance blurred dramatically. Woe is me. They seem to cry, but the reality is a bit different. After all, they chose the spotlight. The irony of fleeing the pressures of royal life only to embrace the very same media frenzy is deliciously rich. As the world watches, it's clear that Harry and Meghan's quest for relevance is not merely a personal journey. It's a reflection of the royal family's crisis of identity. The monarchy, long viewed as an institution steeped in tradition, is grappling with the seismic shifts brought on by modernity. While the world evolves, the royal family risks becoming a relic of the past, and Harry's departure symbolizes a fracture in the institution that many believed was unshakable. The irony is thick as the couple claims to champion modern values while simultaneously living a life drenched in privilege and luxury. Their mansion in Montecito, complete with all the trappings of celebrity, is a stark contrast to the humble image they try to project in their quest to redefine royal life. They seem to have forgotten one key aspect: authenticity. What does it mean to be a modern royal? When your very lifestyle epitomizes extravagance while they preach about sustainability and compassion, one can't help but chuckle at the juxtaposition of their lavish lifestyle against their self-proclaimed values. Perhaps the message is lost in translation, or perhaps it's simply a case of do. As I say, not as I do, with their newfound freedom comes the price tag of celebrity life. While Harry and Meghan bask in the warm glow of Hollywood, it's worth questioning the toll it takes on their royal legacy. The couple appears to be walking a tightrope, straddling the line between being relevant public figures and maintaining some semblance of their royal heritage. Yet in their pursuit of fame, they risk tarnishing the very name they sought to escape. From Meghan's relentless ambition to be seen as more than just a former actress has led her to take on numerous projects, from philanthropy to producing. But the question remains, is this a genuine desire to make a difference, or merely a strategic move to stay in the limelight? The answer, of course, lies somewhere in the murky waters of intention and ambition. While her efforts may be well-intentioned, the execution often falls flat with each endeavor. One can't help but feel a sense of irony. Meghan aims to redefine what it means to be royal, but ends up blending into the very celebrity culture she claims to resist. In a world where everyone is vying for attention, the concept of self-expression has become a double-edged sword. Meghan often touts her dedication to authenticity, yet her brand of self-expression seems curated to fit a specific narrative. Is her social media presence a genuine representation of her thoughts and feelings, or simply a well-crafted marketing strategy? As she promotes her projects and shares snippets of her life, one can't help but feel a sense of déjà vu. It's as if each post is designed to elicit sympathy and adoration, further feeding into the cycle of public approval she desperately seeks. The notion of doing it for the gram is not lost on anyone, especially when the couple constantly showcases their lavish lifestyle. With every stunning photograph of their picturesque home or family outing, they reinforce the image of a perfect life. However, beneath the surface, the cracks are beginning to show. The narrative they've constructed is beginning to unravel, revealing the complexities of a couple caught between two worlds, one of tradition and duty, the other of celebrity and self-promotion. Despite their best efforts, Harry and Meghan remain haunted by the shadows of their pasts. For Harry, the burden of being a prince weighs heavily, even as he attempts to distance himself from royal expectations. For Meghan, her tumultuous relationship with her family continues to cast a long shadow. Every attempt to move forward seems to be met with reminders of who they once were: Harry the prince with a gilded past, and Meghan the actress with a complicated family history. In an age where authenticity is prized, the couple's efforts to redefine themselves are constantly scrutinized. As they navigate this delicate balance, they find themselves entangled in a web of contradictions. Are they truly living life on their terms, or are they merely reacting to the world around them? With every public appearance and every speech, they seem to scream for acceptance. Yet the more they try, the further they drift from their roots. As they forge ahead, the ramifications of their choices ripple through the royal family. The once stalwart institution is now facing a public relations crisis, with Harry and Meghan's narrative challenging the very foundations of what it means to be royal. The Windsor name, once synonymous with dignity and grace, is now entangled in a narrative of personal ambition and celebrity culture. Critics of the couple are quick to point out the irony in their quest for a meaningful existence while simultaneously perpetuating a lifestyle that feels disconnected from the values they espouse. How can one genuinely champion social change while ensconced in a life of privilege? The Sussexes' constant attempts to reshape their image come off as a desperate attempt to gain public favor rather than a genuine commitment to the causes they support. The narrative surrounding the couple has transformed into a spectacle that borders on the absurd. While they preach about mental health and the importance of community, their actions suggest a stark detachment from the very issues they claim to advocate for. Are they truly committed to making a difference, or are they merely using social causes as a platform to elevate their status? As the drama unfolds, public sentiment is beginning to shift. Once celebrated for their modern approach to royalty, Harry and Meghan now face increasing criticism. The initial excitement surrounding their departure from the royal family has faded, giving way to skepticism. The very narrative that once endeared them to the public now feels overly manufactured, leading many to question their authenticity. The media, once eager to lionize the couple, is now beginning to turn its gaze with a critical eye in a landscape that thrives on sensationalism. The Sussexes' latest escapades are met with a mix of amusement and disdain. The whispers of what's next have transformed into a chorus of enough. Already, the couple's attempts to remain relevant in an ever-changing media landscape are starting to feel like a desperate ploy for attention rather than genuine engagement. The irony is rich. As they sought freedom, they inadvertently shackled themselves to the very system they sought to escape. Their struggle for acceptance and approval now seems less about breaking free and more about securing their place in a world that thrives on superficiality. In a world that thrives on drama and intrigue, the saga of Harry and Meghan continues to captivate audiences. Their journey, fraught with contradictions and complexities, serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between ambition and authenticity. As they navigate the choppy waters of celebrity life, one must wonder, will they find their footing, or are they destined to become mere footnotes in the annals of royal history? The next chapter remains unwritten, and as the world watches, one thing is certain: the drama is far from over. Harry and Meghan may have escaped the confines of the royal family, but the pursuit of fame, fortune, and validation is a treacherous path fraught with challenges and pitfalls. Buckle up, because the ride is only just beginning. The couple seems to be caught in a self-obsessed whirlwind where every choice is made with the camera rolling and the approval of their celebrity peers in mind. There's an undeniable irony in their quest for privacy while simultaneously releasing tell-all interviews and documentaries. It's a classic case of wanting to have your cake and eat it too, drenched in organic icing. Let's not forget Meghan's supposed aspirations to be a beacon of change. Her attempts at advocacy often come off as disingenuous, showcasing a woman more concerned with her public image than the actual causes she claims to champion. It's baffling how she can discuss issues of importance while standing atop a pedestal built on privilege and entitlement. Her charity work, while admirable in theory, feels like a well-calculated PR move rather than a genuine effort to help others. After all, how can one truly understand the struggles of everyday people when they've never truly lived that life? Harry, for his part, has embraced this new identity as a man stripped of his royal responsibilities. However, one can't help but chuckle at how quickly he seems to forget the values he once held dear. The global youth advocate, now more focused on building a brand than being a role model, has become a walking contradiction. His well-publicized mental health campaigns feel hollow when juxtaposed against his own seemingly chaotic life choices. It's almost as if he's taken the mantra of "do as I say, not as I do" to new heights. The couple's repeated insistence that they left the royal family for the sake of their mental health adds another layer of irony to this unfolding drama. While they claim to be escaping the oppressive nature of royal life, they've unwittingly replaced it with a different kind of scrutiny, one that's relentless and magnified by social media. Instead of finding peace, they seem to have invited chaos into their lives, becoming constant fodder for gossip columns and late-night talk shows. One can only imagine what the late-night comedians must think. It's like having a gift that keeps on giving. Meghan's portrayal as a victim of the royal family is another narrative that feels tired and rehearsed. She and Harry have spun their tale of woe so many times that it's lost its emotional weight. Instead of inspiring sympathy, it elicits eye rolls and exasperation. After all, there are countless stories of individuals that have faced true adversity, yet they manage to rise above it without the luxury of global platforms or multi-million-dollar deals. Meghan's constant reminders of her struggle seem to overshadow any real accomplishments, making one wonder if she's truly as resilient as she claims. Then there's the glaring contradiction of their supposed desire for independence. They left behind a life of luxury and duty only to create a new version of that same life. This time, with more hashtags and fewer tiaras, their insistence on maintaining a royal status while simultaneously rejecting the monarchy is not just confusing, it's laughable. They want the perks without the responsibilities, and that's a tough sell for the public. It's like trying to convince everyone that you are a vegan while you are chowing down on a steak dinner. Moreover, Harry's attempts to paint himself as a man who has broken free from the shackles of tradition are somewhat comical. He may believe he's forging a new path, but in reality, he's just another celebrity chasing clout in an industry rife with superficiality. His frequent appearances at high-profile events where he rubs shoulders with the elite contradict his claims of wanting to live a more authentic life. One can't help but wonder if he's ever had an inkling of what it means to be genuinely grounded. The couple's fixation on branding and marketing their every move has turned their lives into a never-ending publicity stunt. Every charity event, at every product launch, every carefully curated Instagram post screams of desperation to be relevant. They've taken the royal playbook and flipped it on its head, but the results are far from impressive. It's as if they believe that fame alone can fill the void left by their royal departures, and that is a misguided belief at best. Meanwhile, the royal family continues to uphold the values of tradition and duty even as they navigate this turbulent storm. They remain steadfast in their roles, showcasing a sense of dignity that Harry and Meghan seem to lack. The juxtaposition between the Sussexes' antics and the royal family's commitment to service only highlights the stark contrast between those who genuinely care for the monarchy and those who are simply using it as a stepping stone for personal gain. As we reach the end of this exploration into the circus that is Harry and Meghan's post-royal life, it becomes abundantly clear that the couple's journey has devolved into a relentless pursuit of self-promotion rather than meaningful impact. Their narrative, once steeped in promises of change and authenticity, now feels like a carefully curated facade, one that crumbles under the slightest scrutiny. Harry's transformation from a beloved royal into a hapless celebrity and Meghan's evolution from actress to self-proclaimed advocate raise serious questions about their genuine intentions. One cannot overlook the irony that while they clam for privacy, they simultaneously thrust themselves into the glaring spotlight, turning their every misstep into tabloid fodder. Their relentless quest for relevance has only showcased their inability to escape the very world they claim to disdain. Their attempts to craft a narrative of liberation are laughable when juxtaposed against the stark reality of their actions. Actions that betray a desperate need for public validation and acceptance. Their ongoing grievances with the royal family have become tiresome, revealing a level of bitterness that's hard to sympathize with. Instead of rising above, they have chosen to wallow in past hurts, painting themselves as perpetual victims in a saga that seems more fictional than factual. This narrative might have initially garnered sympathy, but it has since morphed into a melodrama that leaves the audience rolling their eyes rather than cheering for the protagonists, Harry and Meghan's self-aggrandizing behavior. Whether through high-profile media appearances or virtue-signaling initiatives continues to underline a glaring contradiction, the desire to be seen as relatable while living an extraordinary lifestyle that few can fathom. It's a precarious balancing act, and they seem utterly ill-equipped to pull it off. Rather than embodying the ideals of modernity and progressiveness they profess to represent, they have inadvertently become symbols of entitlement and self-interest in a world that desperately needs genuine advocates for change. The Sussexes risk becoming cautionary tales of how privilege can corrupt good intentions. Their relentless pursuit of fame has overshadowed any meaningful contributions they might have made, rendering their advocacy efforts little more than a poorly executed PR stunt. As they continue down this path, one cannot help but wonder if they truly comprehend the gravity of their choices or if they are too enmeshed in their own narratives to realize the disconnect between their words and actions. As we bid farewell to this spectacle, it remains to be seen how history will judge Harry and Meghan. Will they be remembered as modern-day rebels, or will they fade into the annals of celebrity history, overshadowed by those who genuinely embody the values they claim to uphold? In the grand scheme of things, their story serves as a stark reminder that authenticity cannot be manufactured, nor can a meaningful legacy be built on the shifting sands of public opinion. Only time will tell if they can pivot from this self-inflicted chaos into something truly worthwhile. But for now, the world watches in bemusement as the drama unfolds, popcorn in hand, waiting for the next act in this absurd royal soap opera.